That night, I got a phone call from Hikari. Oh. Really? If that was the case, that means that Abreu, as a part of the Cygnus constellation, will be a summer star too. What can we do? In an instant, it seemed like all our plans were derailed. Oof. They could look up other constellations. In the end, it didn't matter that it was a summer constellation. Some constellations are described as belong to different seasons, like winter constellation or summer constellations. However, that doesn't mean that you can't see them during the other seasons. This means that the best time to see them is during a particular time of year. Most can actually be seen throughout the year. The fact is especially true with a constellation close to the North Star. This constellation tends to have long periods of visibility and can easily be seen for most of the year. Cygnus the Swan was one such constellation. Oh yeah, from doing quick research, I noticed that it's technically kind of that Cygnus, right? The Abreu is actually like a certain reach away from the North Star. Like there's like in order to measure how to find the other constellations, you typically go from the North Star because it's the brightest star in order to find any particular other stars. Did you see the weather report? He said this with an expression bright enough to rival today's sunny weather. Today was the day the stargazers met up. We had already planned things out meticulously, had Miss Satomi review it all for us. All that was left is waiting for the night to come. And tempted to ditch us, Saya had thrown on her backpack, was headed for the classroom door. Hikari. I interrupted Hikari, so as she called out to Saya. Head over to Saya myself. Promise me you'll come tonight. I would like for you to see Abreu. Is it Abreu or Abreu? Abreu. Whoops. Saya was at a loss for words and averted her eyes. She then outmaneuvered me and left the classroom in a hurry. Guessing that's not a yes, it's not a no though? Hikari was mumbling to herself as we set up the telescope on the rooftop would be observing from. What about you, Hikari? What would you say whatever you feel like, saying without... Oh, sorry, let me try that again. You always feel like saying whatever you feel like saying without thinking about how the other person feels. I interrupted you earlier so you wouldn't upset Saya. As I answered her in the exact blunt tone that she had warned me about, I remembered the frightening expression of Saya's face and felt a twinge of guilt. I really wanted her to come, which is why I said something to her, but I think Hikari was right that it might have had the opposite effect. After the telescope was set up, I pointed the lens as a faraway mountain and peered into the eyepiece. The image was blurry. I turned the dial to brighten it to bring it to focus. The image became clearer and appeared upside down in the eyepiece. That was the reason I'd always thought it was broken, but I was wrong. It was normal for a telescope to show an inverted upside down image. The image flips upside down as it passes through the lens and the optical scopes used to see over distance. Binoculars and spotting scopes use a prism to reorient the image. However, adding the prism takes away from the image quality, the instrument itself becomes heavier, and it inevitably costs more money, which is why my telescope had an inverted image. And really, since there's no proper orientation in space, there's no need to correct the inverted image as an astronomical telescope. Set up the azimuth stand, setting the electrical tower at the center of the field of vision. There we go. Next, I look down the small barrel fixed to the side of the telescope. The cylinder is called a finder. It's very similar to the side of a rifle. Telescope with low magnification, the finder has crosshairs in the center. Crosshairs are used to find out what you want to see, such as stars of any other celestial body. And needless to say, they're really difficult to find a tiny point of light quickly in the vast sky with a narrow field of view of a telescope. Which is why a finder comes in handy. You see, its wide field of view to find your target first. Once you find your target, you then align with your crosshairs in the center of the finder. The finder and telescope are both pointing at the same target. Stars in the finder should also show up in the telescope field of view. But in order to do that, you need to make sure that the angle of the finder matches the direction of the telescope. Together, these preparatory steps make up the optical lens alignment process. Can't really be done once it's dark, so I made sure to do it while it was still light outside. That's actually really interesting. I never knew that I had to go through that process, or with the fact that telescopes were flipped upside down. I guess if they included another mirror, an extra mirror to make it so it seemed normal, it maybe would have been a little bit difficult to see, or it could have been just a cheap method for a telescope to function without putting in a prism into it and losing the image quality, I guess. I don't know, man, I don't know, but that's interesting. That's really interesting. And the finder as well was actually kind of cool as well. I always wondered why that thing was there. At that moment, I was attempting to align the optical lens between the finder and the telescope using an electrical tower as a landmark. One of the younger students came bounding up onto the rooftop. The girl's enthusiastic greeting was cut short by an emphatic judo chop to the head. Oh boy. Seeing Hikari's hand still threatening a poise for another strike, the girl timidly corrected herself. Who is this girl? She has like a little sunflower on the side. It's kinda cute. Who is he? Who's she? Little girl expression turned serious once we affirmed the question. The little girl pleaded as she clung to Hikari, tugging earnestly in her shirt. She'll be okay if you ask Miss Atome, right? Peeking out halfway behind Hikari, the little girl regarded me warily. Wow. What was with that nickname? See by Hikari's prompting, the little girl faced me and set a posture. Kusakabe Korona, okay. Kusakabe? As in that Kusakabe? Oh, Take's younger sister. Oh, okay. You don't say. For some reason, she looked like she was bracing herself for something. Makito Soromi, in the 5th grade. Nice to meet you too, Korona. Korona. It's kind of cute name. Remember that Hikari has scolded me about how I came off as scary and blunt. I made a conscious effort to introduce myself a little more sweetly. She said as she looked at me with reverence in her eyes. Sorry, my hair has been going crazy recently. You see that swoop that I have? Yeah, that swoop has been there since this morning and I don't know what to do with it. It sometimes just forms. I have no idea why. When it gets too dry, it just forms and it's the most annoying thing ever. I have to deal with it all summer. Is she really Takeichi's younger sister? Just that they don't look alike at all. It's hard to believe a kid this cute could actually be his sister. Korona's ears perked up immediately after I said that she was cute. Is that weird? I see. Did she just call me Aki? New York. Wow. And more twisting. That expression change, oh my god. Make sure you tell Miss Atome that you'd like to join us at the Stargaze meetup. The more twisting. After Hikari let her go, Korona cried out. Said she rubbed her temples like someone who was trying to ease a migraine. For some reason, it looked like they were having fun.
てか、タケはいいって言ってるの？お兄ちゃんには内緒にする。ダメっていうに決まってるもん。まあ、じゃあタケはいいとして、ちゃんと早乙女先生の許可をもらってから来るんだよ。勝手に。うん、分かった。行ってくる。
My bad.
ありがとう、アッキーピカリン。その呼び方やめろ。
Why'd she go pick her in? She went off the roof just as quickly as she come. What an energetic kid. She kind of reminds me of you, Hikari.
どこが？
And that face expression again. Oh my god. I'll refrain from elaborating more since it seemed pretty unexpected of her. It didn't feel like being on the receiving end of one of the noogies. Why does she even want to come to observation tonight? Does she even like stars?
何やるか分かってないだけだよ。みんなでする遊びに混ぜてほしいんだと思う。4年生は数が少ないから。
There was only one class in each grade at school. The 5th grade class that Hikari and I were in had 17 people. We were the largest class in school. Classes got smaller the younger you went, but by the 4th grade class, just 1 year below us, only had 4 kids. So really, wow. Okay. Damn. Okay. Okay. I'm guessing it must be out in the sticks and stuff. If the number of people keeps dropping, the school might get closed.
まあでもその前に亡くなっちゃうかも。
What's that?
アキト知らないの？ダムのこと。
I haven't heard anything. What's this dam?
川にダムを作るかもって話。もうずっと前からあるんだけど、もしそうなったらこの辺り一帯は湖に沈んじゃうんだって。
Oh, that's what they... Remember when at first point he said there was a dam before? Yeah, okay, I see now. Even the school? Hikari nodded solemnly. I didn't know. After being handed off to the granddad like I wanted garbage. Baggage? Baggage, not garbage. It was no surprise that I wasn't aware of the town situation. And with granddad being the silent type, doubt he would have told me much anyway. Took a good look around my surroundings from the rooftop. What's would be under the lake? Old paddles, fields, and overgrown empty lots scattered between sporadic trees, nestled among them, all the homes and other buildings. It was hard to imagine that everything here would be flooded and disappear beneath the lake created by the dam. Being as new to the town as I was, couldn't scrape together any feeling of attachment to it. The town wasn't special to me, so it was hard to say it'd be sad to see it go. But I did think that losing the town would be a bit troublesome. Wonder how Hikari must feel. Thinking that, I glanced at her profile, but it was hard to tell from her expression whether she was unhappy or she didn't care either way.
できた?
Yep, all done. That's the last of the prep work. With the axes on the lens set, telescope setup was complete. Also checked the time of viewing, coordinates, and the time that Alberio would set. As long as the good weather held up, it seemed like tonight's observation would go off without a hitch.
それじゃあ帰ろっか。
Yeah. Stargazing would take place at night, so I decided that everyone should meet up again after going home to have dinner. Hoping nothing happens to the telescope with I gone. Night had fallen. Everyone from the 5th grade class gathered in front of the school. Everyone was excited to be out here this late in the evening. It really felt like we were at a festival. Hikari had arrived. She was happily running over as she usually does, but right behind her was the puppy.
何子犬？わあ、かわいい。
Despite being as happy to follow Hikari, Fuji suddenly became very timid when surrounded by so many unfamiliar faces.
どうかしたの？先生、ひかりちゃんが犬を連れてきちゃったんです。あらあら。
Miss Satomi seemed to be at a loss upon seeing the forlorn look on the puppy's face. I whispered to Hikari, "Why'd you bring him along?"
しょうがないじゃん。来る途中に様子を見に行ったらついてきちゃったんだもん。ひかりちゃんち、犬なんて飼ってたっけ？あのね、この子捨て犬で、今は橋の下で。
Having no choice, Hikari explained the circumstances surrounding her pooch to Miss Satomi and the others. During the course of her explanation, the reason my pants had been soaked on the first day transferred in came to light as well. Everyone, including Miss Satomi, looked at me approvingly.
いいでしょ、先生。今日だけ 困ったわね。
Miss Autonomy found it hard to be strict after seeing Hikari so eagerly, her hands clasped together. The fact that Hikari had just told her now she had saved him wasn't helping either.
今日だけよ。ありがとう先生。あと、粗相は絶対にさせないこと。その時は掃除してもらいますからね。わかった、する。でもどうするの？ずっと橋の下に置いておくわけにはいかないでしょ。飼ってくれる人探してるんだけど、なかなかいないんだよね。そうだ、先生んちは犬飼ってるでしょ。うちはダメよ。もう太郎がいるし。そっか。
Hikari hung her head in disappointment. As a steward, Pooch would need some work. Since he wasn't used to being pet by anyone, was extremely shy around strangers.
もう全員揃ったかしら。
I counted up everyone who'd gathered so far. Oh yeah, what about for the great girl Korona?
ねえ、タケ、コロナ来てないの？
母ちゃんにダメって言われて、今頃押し入れでいじけてるぞ。
やっぱそうなるか。
What do you mean?
コロナのお母さん、コロナには異常に厳しいから。兄貴があんなだから、妹に期待をかけてるみたい。
Damn.
一言余計なんだよ。
I see. I felt bad for her since it seemed she had really wanted to come. I also really wanted her to see the stars.
あといないのは。
Saya. That's the one missing, isn't she?
そうだ、天の川さん。
Hikari exclaimed as she looked around the crowd. She's not here yet. I came a little worried as I noticed. Hope she didn't decide not to come because of my attitude when asking about it at lunch.
来るって言ってたよね。
Even though it seemed like the stargazing meetup was the extracurricular lesson with Miss Satomi here with us, attendance wasn't mandatory. Purpose of the meeting was also properly explained beforehand to the parents and guardians of the students. Sai did say she'd attend.
あ、待ってよ。
Finally fed up with being fussed about the other girls, Pooch ran off.
こら、どこ行くの？戻ってこーい！アキト、捕まえて！
I was closest to the direction in which he took off, so I chased after him. Wait! Getting lost around these parts at night would be a real pain. As I was frantically chasing after him, Pooch suddenly stopped in his tracks. We unexpectedly ran into Saya, and Pooch had settled at her feet. Saya herself stood still, and for a moment, it seemed they were in the other little world, just one dog and one girl. Hiding behind Saya's legs, Pooch let out a frightened whimper.
どうしたの？
At first, Saya was confused by his behavior. She then caught sight of me, the one who had been chasing him. She shot me a hateful glare. Oh no, oh no. Hang on a minute, am I suddenly be the bad guy now?
よしよし、もう大丈夫だよ。
Pooch's tail wagged furiously as Saya patted his head.
もうワン吉が懐いてる？美少女だからか？美少女だからなのか？
Seriously doubted the dogs had the same sense of beauty as people did, but it was clear that he had become quite fond of Saya.
おい、さっさと始めろよ。
Takechi asked in an irritated voice.
早く終わらせて帰りてえよ。
文句言うなら来なきゃよかったじゃん。
He really didn't. He could have said, no, I'm not coming.
お前らがちゃんとできるかどうか見届けてやるためだよ。できなかったら全力で笑ってやっからな。
ふんだ、そんなことにはなりませんよーだ。
お前、何笑ってんだ？
なんでもない。
Takechi wasn't the only one who was getting tired of waiting around. Took account of everyone. Looks like everyone's here. Hikari turned around to pick up Pooch, bud.
かわいいね。よしよし。
He was nestled comfortably in Sai's arms, enjoying the attention. Several of the boys there glared at the puppy enviously.
ちょっと懐きすぎじゃないか？
Guess dogs like cute girls too, huh? Yeah. She buried her fist in my side.
ああ、いっか。おかげでお姫様もご機嫌みたいだし。
Wow. I sense a tinge of jealousy there. That was hunched over in pain, gasping at my side. Couldn't help but agree with her. Pretty sure that was the first time I've seen Sai in such a good mood.
それじゃあ屋上行くよ。
With Hikari in the lead, all of us made our way up to the roof. Now here's the big thing, will they be able to see the star? Will they be able to show Saya the arboreal? And will their friendship... It's so cliche, but will their friendship strengthen through this... Good lord, how would you describe it? Stargazing meetup. There we go. When we got up to the roof, the winter stars were twinkling brightly in the clear night sky.
星が綺麗に見えるよ。
Hikari exclaimed happily. There wasn't a single cloud in the sky. Excuse me, and even the night sky felt bright. Where's Cygnus?
あそこ。
There is Cygnus. The constellation. Sure enough, low in the west-northwind sky, I could see the unfurled wings of a swan. Yeah, apparently Cygnus is supposed to be representing a swan together. And since it's summer constellation, I figured it would be only stay visible for another hour and a half before setting. Following the lines of its head and neck towards the horizon, there at the tip of its beak was Arboreal. First glance, it looked just like a normal single star, but in reality it was a double star made up of two stars aligned tightly together.
沈んじゃう前に早く見よう。
As we stood there, it seemed like the swan would dive below the horizon at any minute. Despite knowing that we had plenty of time to spare, it still felt like we needed to hurry. We went to go grab the telescope we prepared, left here at the afternoon. What the?
どうしたの？
It's not here. Told you, somebody jacked it. Higgy cocked her head on one side in confusion. In shock, I reiterated. My telescope, it's not here. I left my telescope near the entrance to the roof with the optical lens already set up for the night. But I couldn't find it anywhere.
帰るときここに置いてたよね。
Yeah.
どうしたの？ああ、先生、ここに置いてた望遠鏡がなくなってるの。なんですって？誰かが片付けちゃったのかな。他の先生にも今夜の観測会のことは伝えてあるから、知らずに触るってことはないと思うんだけど、本当にここに置いていたの？
Yes. If it had been put back in its case, all the effort I'd gone through to set up the optical lens would have been for nothing. Thought it would be okay to leave it here since most of the students had already gone home from school. Hardly anyone comes up here.
一度職員室を見てくるわね。あなたたちはこの辺りを探してみて。
Okay, thanks, Miss Atome. It was careless. It's not like it was guaranteed that no one would come up here. I split up from Hikari and scoured the nearby area once again. But I found nothing. How could that be? It's not like it would be easy to hide something that big. Heard Hikari yell.
足だけ。
Tripod and stand had been folded up and laid to the ground in an obscure corner. But still, the all-important telescope was nowhere to be found. Someone had deliberately taken onto the telescope.
やっぱり誰かが持ってっちゃったんだ。
Oh, remember when one of the henchmen for Take, I think that was his name, right? Take, I think. Takechi, I think. One of his henchmen was like laughing at the thing. Laughing whenever Hikari talked about like, oh, we're gonna see the stars and everything. He kept laughing. Maybe he did something. You bastard, what'd you do? What'd you do, you bastard?
どうしたの、ひかりちゃん。始めないの？それが。
Can't find the telescope anywhere. Hearing the bitterness in my tone, a wave of unease spread among some classmates that had gathered around. Sayo, who had been standing apart from the group, holding Pooch, also noticed a change in the mood and glanced over.
どうしたんだ？
なんか望遠鏡がなくなったって言ってる。
はあ？なんだそれ。あんなでかいものどうやったらなくすんだよ。
See the oddling bee? He's snickering over something.
さっきから何笑ってんだよ、お前。気持ち悪いな。タケ、まさかあんたの仕業じゃないでしょうね。
はあ？なんでもかんでも俺のせいにしてんじゃねえよ。
こないだも絡んできてたじゃん。天体観測なんかできっこないとか言って。
そうだっけ？
Takechi retorted in an exasperated tone. Looked like he was trying to play it off, but I felt like he really didn't know anything about my telescope. There's no proof that he did it. He really might not know either.
なあ、もう帰っていいか？望遠鏡ないんだったら観測会なんかできねえだろ。寒いよ。
What did the other underling be? What did he do? Kyo and Takechi's complaining. A few classmates began murmuring in agreement. Though some of them had been looking forward to tonight's observation, not everyone was. A lot of them came just because it was something that had decided to do as a class, and Miss Atome had approved it. I tried to quietly make my way off the roof.
アキト？
Go and look for it.
私も行く。
お前らどこ行くんだよ。
探しに行くの、望遠鏡は。
じゃあ俺帰ろっと。
なんでよ、探してくるって言ってるじゃない。待ってなさいよ。
だって寒いし。
Shu Takeichi's complaint spoke for the rest of our classmates, who were enthusiastic about tonight. Spoke to Hikari. Sure, everyone will leave if the both of us go look for it.
そうかも。
You should stay here, Hikari. I know everyone will stay and listen to if it's you. Doubt anyone would stick around for the poorly adjusted transfer student like me.
わかった。
Hikari reluctantly agreed with me. Our break will start around 9:30 p.m. I'll be back before then. Had a little over an hour to search. Takeichi smirked when he overheard me.
もし空見が間に合わなかったらどうするんだ？
その時は裸で寒中水泳でも何でもやってやるわよ。
What?
面白そうじゃねえか。約束だぞ。
Oh. Hikari.
言っちゃった。アキト、見つけてきて。望遠鏡は学校の中にあるはずだから。
It's so juvenile, but at the same time I gotta understand that they are in elementary school. Gotcha, I'll definitely find it. I reassured Hikari and glanced over to Saya. Though Saya was regarding me with an anxious expression, she averted her eyes in embarrassment when our eyes met. I'll be back. Left the roof in a rush.